everybody, welcome to Cup of Joy. I'm Joy Scola. I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about myself. Hi, welcome. So I got started in yoga when I was 23. Well, if I moved back, I lived in California before I ever moved to Texas. I was born and raised in California, and when I was like 21, 22, I did a few little like P90X workouts and, went to the gym once or twice like a year, but nothing like super active. In school, I played a little bit of sports, but like nothing major, nothing really consistent. I've never been naturally flexible. All that, like, I'm not naturally coordinated. A lot of this stuff like came really hard for me. And I still to this day, like even choreography stuff, I really have trouble, like where left foot, right foot. So when I moved to Texas, I was traveling a lot. I was selling veterinary equipment, going all over the country, gone for weeks at a time. My poor kitty boy like gained so much weight because I was just leaving piles of food for him and like running off. And then one day I had like moved into an apartment closer to San Antonio or in San Antonio. And hey everybody, how's it going? Just talking about how I got started into yoga and my journey. And then I'm gonna take y'all through a fascia flow. So grab any sort of straps or towels or belts. We're gonna be using that later. But yeah, so I was selling veterinary equipment all over the US. It was fun, but it also started to get really tiring, and it was a lot of drinking, like all the deals were done at the bars, like it was just a really rough life. And when I was in San Antonio, I had made some friends and we started to work out together. And I came across this Groupon for an indoor rock climbing gym called The District. Yes, The District in San Antonio. They're really awesome. Let's see what we got here. Hi from Malaysia. Oh my gosh, it's nighttime there. That's awesome. They have been practicing my weight loss yoga videos for 4 to 5 years ago. Thank you. I'm so happy. I'm going to do another weight loss series on my YouTube channel here pretty soon, since that one's on Psyche Truth. Hey everybody. Yeah, so I found this indoor rock climbing gym and it was like Valentine's Day, and so I called just to make sure that they were going to be open so my friend and I could go. And they're like, yeah, come early. We're going to be doing this like really crazy partner yoga thing where we're going to put each other in the air and like flipping around. And I was like, what? Okay, that sounds fun, I guess. So I got my friend. We went to our first acrobatic yoga or acro yoga class. Woo, I tell you guys, the second somebody put me up on their feet in throne, it was like, I knew that this was what I had to do for the rest of my life. Like, it just clicked. Like, the connection and how fun it was and how much you're working together and how much you're working out and stretching, and you don't even realize it because you're just having a blast. Hey, everybody. And then it's not until later on or the next day you go, whoa, I gotta work out. And I found out that I'm the type of person where I need to be around other people to work out, and I can't work out at a gym. I go to the gym, I'm just like a deer in the headlights, and I just go over to the cardio room or the Pilates room, and I just end up doing yoga and messing around on balance balls. So when I found acrobatic yoga, like I just dedicated every waking minute that I had. I would get off work and I'd drive straight to the gym, and I'd be at the gym until like 11 or midnight because it was kind of like a 24-hour gym. Then I'd go home, go sleep, wake up, do it all over again. Weekend comes, you would see me there all weekend. Just training, hours at a time, like just taking breaks to eat or rest for a tiny bit, get rid of a headache, and then like keep working again. And so I just fell in love with it so much and started training so much that I actually started teaching at the gym where I learned it. So I started teaching acrobatic yoga at the District. Hey guys, just talking about my journey getting into yoga, and I'm gonna be taking y'all through a flow later, so grab your straps or belt or towel. But please let me know if you have any questions for me about how I got into this. But yeah, so moving along. So after I had started teaching at the District, I really knew that this was something that I wanted to do, and the sales job that I was working at, it was a mom and pop place, and like they were kind of starting to get a little shady and not wanting to pay me all the way, or like pay me later, and then like just really bad juju all around. And I was getting really tired of the traveling and the drinking, and so I was like, peace. Forget about it. I made a friend in the industry who had a house in San Antonio and had a bunch of rooms open, and so I quit my job as a salesperson, like making really good money every year, to dedicate like all of my time and energy to teaching acrobatic yoga. So from that point, I had actually discovered a regular yoga practice. That's where hatha was introduced to me, and I really started to develop this inner practice, because acro is such an outward experience and you're focusing on somebody else too. And so yoga was such an inner practice, and it's just been such an incredible journey for me. I found that when I drop into poses, my mind escapes my body because I'm pushing too hard, too fast. I wasn't going slow enough to really listen to what my body was actually capable of. I would just turn my neck and hold it there. But then if I actually took time to feel where my neck would naturally stop, had I let it guide me, it was way less further than just being cranked over. So there was a lot of damage that I was doing to my body just by pushing myself and dropping into things and not being fully present and in myself to experience what I was doing. So from there, hatha, I then developed my meditation practice, and I got my teacher training, which was centered around trauma awareness yoga. So really how to release trauma from your body. We all carry trauma in different places of our body. We all have it, and I discovered there was a lot of can of worms all up in here. And I'm still dealing with a lot of that. I was able to clear a bunch, but there's a lot that was buried from a very long time ago, from a very young age, that like I can't quite remember what it is or why it's there, but it affects me, right? So I keep my yoga practice, I keep meditating, we're gonna keep working through that. That's part of the journey. Like I said, I'm not naturally flexible. As many people are like, whoa, you're so flexible. Like, I have to work really hard at it. If I don't practice for even a day, it feels like I stopped practicing for a month. But that's why I really fell into or found out about fascia. So your fascia is this meshy, fibrous, like fluid, liquidy, like mucusy texture that like wraps over our entire body. Acro, keep envisioning. Yeah, Cirque du Soleil. Oh yeah, that does make a lot of sense, right? Call me Talani, call me Tani. And then Yolanda Elmari. Oh, thank you. That's sweet. I really appreciate you saying that. It means a lot to me here, especially I struggle with depression and whatnot still. I'm like, is what I'm doing worth it? Like, thank you so much. I really appreciate those messages because it helps affirm. Yes, keep doing it. But so fascia, they have discovered, covers your entire body, and it's actually the stuff that your nerve messages get sent through. So it sends all of those messages through your body. It sends the electrodes through your body. So if you get what's called scar tissue, if you get an injury or something, or you sit in a certain position for a long time, like say you hurt your arm and then you don't do anything about it, it starts to get really hard and like sticky, and then things start to pull from everywhere else to compensate. That's your fascia. I would say that 99% of people's chronic pains are caused by their fascia. And if they were to help fix their fascia, they would probably get rid of a lot of that pain. So what we want to do is break that fascia up, because even when we sleep at night, it shrink wraps over our body, and that's why when you wake up, it's like, you're like Tales from the Crypt, just like trying to break yourself apart. So fascia is this really sticky, it can be very fluid, which it's meant to be, and like this, they can form and connect, and then they can break apart and connect to other things, and they're very fluid like that, unless they're very scarred up and have scar tissue. So a lot of people think that to stretch, you just stick your arm out as far as you can and that's a stretch. Like, no, I am literally stopped now by the length of my arm. I cannot stretch any further. So if I work on always keeping a micro bend in whatever joint and then pulling from that top joint and pressing out through that bottom joint, then you can really feel the fascia along the outer part of your body, and where it's kind of tight, you'll feel it pull, like I feel it pull in my arm a little bit. And then it's all about kind of moving around and breaking it up. We don't want to just do the same motion or even hold something, because if we just hold it, not much is happening. We're almost trying to break up. I wish I grabbed a tissue for this. If you just try to pull a tissue apart to break it in half, it's kind of hard actually, just by like, So in order to break up a tissue, you actually want to like work it against itself. And that's how our fascia works. We want to work our fascia against itself, so that way it starts to break up and become all fluid and free again, right? Hey everybody, how's it going? Oh, that's so awesome. Scrush. I'm really happy to hear that. That's so sweet. Thank you for saying that. Well, I hope you guys grabbed a strap of sorts, or a towel or a belt, because we're going to be getting into our fascia. This is how I get flexible in my body, especially if it's been a long time since I've stretched or anything. So let's go ahead. I like to start on my back just to really open up the legs. So we'll go ahead and get started on our back. Grab any sort of strap. I like this one because it actually has like these loops through it, so I can choose where my hands and feet go, and then it stays. But then I also like these ones because they're nice and stretchy, so they add a little resistance when you need it. Either works, or again, towel, belts, all have the same effect, but we're gonna come onto our backs. Go ahead and grab a strap. I'm gonna use my purple Dilio. We'll start with one leg at a time. So maybe let's start with what you consider to be your more open side. More open. So technically, I would say I'm more open on my right side than I am on my left, in terms of how much flexibility I have in my hamstring, how much flexibility I have in my hips. So I'm gonna take my strap, wrap it around. You wanna get, how much can you see here? Yeah, the ball part of your foot, right into that strap. And then I like to make sure that my elbows can just like rest on the ground. And then my leg is just pressing and resisting into the strap. So we'll go ahead and bend here gently, keeping your left knee or your opposite leg bent with the foot flat on the floor. We'll inhale, lengthen up through the heel. I'm keeping a bend in my knee though. I'm not straightening here. I don't want to straighten because I want to work with my fascia. So a little bend in the knee. As I inhale, I push and extend through that heel, pulling my right hip down into the ground, and then I point through my toes, and then I try to push that down, bend the knee, bringing into my belly, flex, push up through the heel, point through the toes, push, 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 bend that knee, bring it into your chest, and the whole time I'm resisting my leg with the strap. So if I needed more resistance, I would gather more in my hand. But again, never really locking out that leg. I'm using the energy of pressing my heel up and reaching my hip down to extend that hamstring. Pushing through the toes, help stretch the top of the leg a little bit into the knee. Perfect, so we'll just now make just some little more circle motion here. Really feeling into this, feel into the fascia. Can you feel anything crunching, breaking apart? That is your fascia. If you don't feel anything, that's an experience too, and that's okay. And then now go ahead and take that leg up. Again, micro bend. We're gonna take our opposite leg, extend it all the way out to the floor. And then same thing, just kind of pointing and flexing here while bending and lengthening that leg. So even when I flex, I'm really stretching my toes apart. When I point, I'm really pointing them all together. Really just trying to break up everything, especially with the feet, because it all starts in our foundation. Beautiful. So now we'll go ahead and gently try to bring our leg over our face. Obviously it doesn't have to be super crazy, and I don't want that knee popped out. I just want a little micro bend here, and I'm really stretching through that heel. Micro bend in the knee, extend through the heel, pull back on that strap. Do you feel the resistance? And then nice and slow, I'm squeezing my inner thigh as I slowly allow that leg to come out to the side. And then here, I'm pointing and flexing. Let me make sure I can get my toe to where you can see it. Pointing and flexing here, and I'm still micro bend, so I'm extending through that heel, pulling back on that strap. You can even bend your knee into your shoulder, extend out. Just gently, slowly, mindfully exploring. We want to kind of move around here. You can even turn your toes inward, turn your toes outward, right? See where if you feel the fascia along the outside of your ankle, the inside. And then when you're ready, bringing that leg back up with control. Inhale here, gently bringing towards the face. You can even give it a little rock, but being gentle, nothing crazy. And then when you're ready, exhale, carry it across your body, but pause like 45 degrees. Plug that hip back into the earth. Extend your heel outward. Tell me you do not feel that. Ooh. Sometimes I like to bang on myself. This will help kind of massage things out, help to get that fascia up. I like to really roll the muscle around. And then again, pointing and flexing here while adding that resistance with the band helps to break up all that fascia. I really feel this in my IT band and like on the outside of my ankle right now, like super hardcore. And I'm not even all the way across my body, like this is just 45 degrees over. So actually I feel like personally you can start to take your leg over now. This becomes a little less intense, more intense maybe. I guess more of an inner. And then same thing, that knee is slightly bent. I'm pointing, flexing, pushing through that heel. You can even play with bending your knee and extending out. Point the toes. Ooh, can you point your toes in this? Oh, really, really feel it. So again, breaking up that fascia, exploring different ranges of motion because you never know where you need the stretch. And there's no right way to do any of these freaking poses. I'll tell you what. Yeah, tell them there's no right way. And then when you're ready, give some circles here with your foot and ankle, really pushing through the toes, active feet, and then coming back up to center. Nice little tug inward once more, extend through that heel, point through the toes, bend the knee into the shoulder, and then go ahead and release. I love how I have a kitty butt for a face now. No, come here. And then we're gonna do the other side. So putting that foot down, take your opposite leg now. So this should technically be your tighter side if you know your body enough. If not, you'll explore, you'll discover, it's okay. We all learn, it's a process. So, yeah, I'm on my tight side. Welcome to the tight side. There is no bad or good side. There's just an open and a tight side. So, real fast, people always say, same on each side. No. If you want to perpetuate your body's imbalances, then sure, keep practicing the same thing on each side every time. But in order to bring your body back into balance, you have to practice different on each side. So the side that I am tighter on, I'm actually gonna hold that a lot longer. I'm gonna be driving a little bit deeper into it every time. Whereas the side I'm more open on, I'm not gonna spend so much time on, and I don't even want to see where my full range of motion is, because I wanna get full range of motion in my tight side, so that way I then have I have same range of motion on both sides. Novel concept. So with our tight side, we're gonna spend a little extra time on this side because we want it to be equal to this side, to the open side. So same thing, our opposite foot is bent, foot is planted. That helps to just give us a little bit more space in our hamstring with the tailbone getting to lift. Arms down by the side, we have resistance in the band here, and then just pushing up through that heel, extending through that top foot, bending the knee, and just playing here. Inhale to reach and extend that heel, pressing that hip back into the earth, pointing through the toes, bending that knee. Knee comes into the chest, extend through the heel. Point through the toes, bend, pull back and extend. Pointing, bending, extending. Just playing here, discovering what feels good for you in your body. Might be different than what I'm doing. You can find something that is similar, has maybe a similar effect, but maybe a different way of going about it. Beautiful. So again, I'm just playing here, working away all this crunchy fascia, pointing and flexing. Sometimes I like to rotate the sole of my foot inward so the outside of my foot is facing to the side. Ooh, and then I really feel that stretch along the top of my foot. And sometimes I like to swivel my foot to the outside so the sole of my foot is facing away, top is facing inward. I really feel it the most when I'm like, can say hi with my foot. I'm like, woo! I broke my pinky toe like last year, if y'all remember. And so this I'm still kind of working through. It gets a little bit tight, doesn't want to hold like my standing balances as much as my right leg does. But it's all coming back, all in due time. So again, we're just playing around. You can make circles with that foot. Oh, break up that fascia, gross, tight. I really feel it up in my toes on the top of my foot right now. Breathing. So again, we're gonna spend a little extra time here, unless you're realizing, oh wait, this side's more open than my other side. Spend a little time here, but then maybe go back to your other side. Spend a little extra time reopening that back up. So here I'm just gonna try and push a little bit deeper. This leg has a lot more to work through than my other leg does. So I'm just exploring the different things I can do. Again, pointing, flexing, spending a little extra time here. Just breathe, be in your body. Again, rotating that leg side to side or pointing and flexing. Oh, circles with the ankles. Does your leg get mad at you? Does your body get mad at you? Mine's like, stop. I'm like, no. Obviously, listen, if it hurts, don't do it. If your body's like, this doesn't feel good, then stop it. There's a difference between like a good burn and like a painful burn. That's something that we all must learn within ourselves. That's not something you can really explain. So you really have to be mindful of what you're doing to your body. Is this gonna feel good later? That's a big question I've always had to ask myself, because I get cocky. I just want to do everything. I just want to go into all the fun poses, and then I want to do handstands. My husband's like, girl, you're gonna feel good later. I'm like, you're right. I shouldn't. You're like, yeah, stop. So, we gotta check our egos, and that's yoga. That's okay. All right, so this leg is feeling pretty worked through. I'm gonna take my opposite leg now, extend it all the way out to the floor, and then again, just gently tugging this leg, rocking it towards my face. I have a micro bend in my knee. I'm extending through that heel, so everything's really active, but we're just kind of tricking the body into releasing itself. I'm not going so crazy that I'm activating the whiplash effect where everything has to again, fascia has to shrink wrap around it to protect it. No, we're just being playful. We're not going all the way. And then when you're ready, extending up through that heel. Exhale, start to carry it out to the side. So I'm still engaging my inner leg, even though my leg is reaching outward. And then once I'm here, I'm still adding that resistance into the band, micro bending in that knee. And then pressing out, extending through that heel, pointing through the toes, playing with flipping your foot in all sorts of directions. Playing with that ankle. You're reaching up towards your shoulder. Bend the knee into your shoulder. See what feels good here. You can even just, bend and then extend. Bend when you point your toe. Flex that heel and extend it out. See if you feel anything interesting here. Or just play with holding and twirling that foot around. Again, just a little bit of extra time here because we're working on our tighter side. We want to bring our body into balance. So not same. Different. Ooh, beautiful. And then when you're ready, go ahead and squeeze your body back up to center. Just a couple of little tugs inward over the face. And then again, micro bend in that knee, extend through the heel. Maybe you only go 45 degrees. Oh my gosh, so intense right now. How intense is this for you guys right now? This is like crazy intense for me. So instead of running and escaping and pushing my body through this, I'm gonna slow down. I'm gonna breathe. I'm gonna drop in to where I feel the tension. And I'm gonna try to expand that area with my breath on my inhale. And as I exhale, I'm gonna try and soften and release. I can even take my fingers and kind of knead the areas that feel tight to help break up that fascia just a little bit more. Being gentle with yourself is just such a crucial part of the yoga process. Being gentle with yourself helps you learn how to be gentle with others too. Again, just slowly working that fascia, resisting the band, playing with different angles of the foot, of the toes, bending or straightening that knee. Discover where you need it in your body.
Girl, you know me low key. Why you always trying to press me?
Breathing.
Baby girl, you know me.
And just taking a little bit of extra time. I'm just bending and lengthening.
Girl, I know you're lonely, but way too many people know me. So we gotta keep it low key. You know we supposed to be the homie.
Carry it over to the side now all the way. Ooh. Breathe. Pointing and flexing. Working that fascia out. Should have done a toe test. Can you touch your toes? Oh, I just like to move around, explore where that fascia needs to be broken up. Yeah. Kitties agree. Oh. again, just really working, helping to like move your foot, your ankle, and getting the toes active really helps to warm up the fascia and the feet and the ankles of the hamstrings, which really just helps to open up the entire rest of your body, right? Beautiful. So just playing here just a little bit more. Beautiful. All right. And then when you're ready, we'll go ahead and come back to center. We'll put both feet into the straps now. And then nice and gentle, we're just gonna bring both heels up, keeping a micro bend in the knees. And then again, same thing with that resistance of our legs. Bending and flexing, pointing. Yeah. Just playing here. How do you feel like you're a little bit more open in your hamstrings now? Do they feel similar in how open they are? When I have my feet together in the straps, sometimes I like to bring the soles of my feet together and point the toes up and away. Gives a nice good top foot stretch. And then I'll flex and turn them out from each other, keeping a micro bend in the knees. And just play here. What feels good? What does your body want to do? What does it need to feel good? With your knees slightly bent, extending through the heels, you can start to bring the legs over the face if that's accessible for you. Keeping the back on the ground. And just breathe here for a few moments. Every time you inhale, you're extending through the heels. Every time you exhale, you're relaxing a little, deepening the stretch. Wonderful. So now we'll go ahead and bend the knees, set the strap to the side. Go ahead and hug those knees. Thank you, legs. Appreciate everything you do for me. You can rock side to side. And then coming back to center, start to rock up and down your spine. Woo! Until you come to a seat. Ha! Woo! All right. My legs are feeling pretty good and open. I hope y'all's are. So now we're gonna carry that concept into our shoulders and our arms. So I like to usually work from the ground up because everything starts from the ground up. So if we open up our feet, that'll open up our ankles, hamstrings, hips, spine, shoulders, etc. So now that everything's a little bit more open, I'm gonna move into my shoulders, taking my strap again. Doesn't matter, I'm gonna show this other strap now. Little resistance band is fun, especially if you're still at home and you don't have weights. So I just like to do one little wrap and grab in this thing, making sure I can get my arms a decent space apart while I'm going through this motion. So I'm going to, you can sit in an easy seat, you can be kneeling here, whatever feels good to you in your body. Sometimes I like to kneel or sit on my toes even while I do this, but I would inhale, or yawn, because my body releases energy through yawns. Exhale, just gently bring the bands behind your back a little bit, and back up, nice. Can you feel the resistance helping to work out that fascia? Ooh. Letting the hands come together at the top, and then pulling those elbows down. Yeah, maybe take it all the way down and back up. And then now I'm going to reach over to one side, placing my hand down and extending through my top arm. So I'm really getting that resistance here. And then now while I'm pushing, I'm active here. If I wasn't, my arm would be here. So I'm actively pressing with my hand. I'm going to move my arm around this spot. So open palm when it reaches out to the side, reaching back behind me. I'm going to come to like a nice side bend here, and then I can even kind of reach forward and across. My hand is down now, fingers facing down. And then back and around. Ooh, stretching. We're just moving like that. Explore your body. What feels good here? Oh, where does your body feel this the most? Where does your body need this the most? Oh, wonderful. So now I feel like I've gotten this side pretty good. I'm gonna move on to my tighter side and spend a little more time. So sitting up nice and tall, whether you're in your seat or kneeling. Opposite hand comes to the floor now. Add resistance with that top arm. Make sure it's enough resistance or not too much. And then let that shoulder come behind you. I'm keeping that resistance. I'm pushing into my hand nice and strong, especially when working around this shoulder joint. And then I'm really letting myself kind of go into this rainbow side stretch till I do like a semi-fold forward, reaching that arm in front. You can even pull it back behind you. And then swing it back around, open that shoulder, turning your heart to the sky, reaching that band around. Ooh. Moving around. Nice and slow though. Be mindful. What are you doing? What feels good? It's not about momentum here. This is not a race. Oh, it's about getting the best quality stretch for your time and your body. Yeah. You wanna go outside? Ooh. And then so if I feel something like extra crazy, like in a specific area, I'll just kind of tick-tock, rock back and forth in that area just a little bit. So I have a lot of tightness in that pec, in my left pec. So this feels like amazing. Bending that open. Yeah, explore. Half of this is all about exploration. Exploring the unknown. Isn't that right, kitty? Yeah. Whoa. Stretching that all out. Beautiful. Oh, I'm going to spend a little extra time on this side just because it's my tighter side. And I want to bring my body into what? Balance. That's right, folks. Breathing. Just a couple more rounds here. Really got to break this business up. You finally gonna be fine to do some yoga, huh? Yeah, you can be okay to do some yoga. Yeah. Oh. Ooh, and then really feel it down that side body like crazy. Oh, beautiful. And then sitting back up to center, maybe just a couple more times, like just naturally behind your back. You can even walk your hands in just a little bit more and play with going forward and then reaching back, trying to roll those shoulders, see if they feel more open. Do they feel even? If not, go back to that tighter side. Spend a little bit more time on it. Oh, wonderful. And then we'll go ahead and release the strap. Just give our shoulders a couple of rolls here, lift them up towards the ears, let them go. How much time are we at? 10:11. Oh, awesome. Okay, cool. So, feel around in your body a little bit. Feel your arms. Let's feel our legs. Let's test into our legs. So, I know everybody's measurement for if they're flexible or not is if they can touch their toes in a forward fold like this. This is not a measure of how flexible you are. I'm sorry, because somebody who's super inflexible in all other areas can be flexible in their legs, but that doesn't mean anything. You can also be naturally flexible, which is bad for your joints. If you are somebody who is naturally flexible and has found yoga to be easy, then you're doing it wrong. I'm sorry to say that. You need to be engaging and really pulling in and not going as deep and working on strengthening your joints and your muscles in your yoga practice. So if you see somebody who's just like dropping into their stuff, they could be hurting themselves. So don't be jealous of what they're doing or idolize what they're doing, because they're not doing yoga, they're doing contortion. Big difference. So if you want to touch your toes in a forward fold, bend your freaking knees. It's that simple, no big deal. We're here now. And then when I'm here, I take that same concept that we had with our bands when we're on our back into my standing forward folds. So if this is where I come and I don't have a strap and the teacher's just putting me through some of these forward folds, I will try and keep my back nice and flat. So here's rounded. I'm gonna bring that low belly down, lift through my heart, and then I'm gonna bend and extend through, bend my knees and extend up through my hips as I press into my heels. And I'm just gonna do that a few times over and over. Maybe each time I try and dip my chest just a little bit further down and closer. If you're unable, this could be you too. We're just bending, or if you get some blocks, that helps to bring the ground to you. So again, just bending, straightening. We want to extend through the heels. If we lock out our knees, we have now entered the point where we cannot stretch any further. We're not doing yoga. Bend your knees, extend those hips up. Feel the stretch as you push into your heels. It completely changes the game. Then we'll inhale, lift up halfway. Take a nice strong breath here. My hips are reaching out and wide. I'm pressing into my feet. Strong back. Exhale. Forward fold. Release the neck. You can grab opposite elbows here. You can even take your legs a little bit wider if that's just more comfortable for you. You can rock side to side. Maybe even do some twists here, grabbing for your opposite leg, taking that belly out. Just going back and forth a couple of times. Again, fascia, fascia, fascia. Break up the fascia. Woo. Oof. Awesome. Coming back to center, really letting yourself hang. Inhale, halfway lift. Breathe here for a moment. And then when you're ready, exhale, go ahead and bring those heel toes in together. You can come back to kneeling. Yay, we did it. Well guys, that is fascia, and that's how I go about breaking up fascia and being more flexible than I'm naturally. So I hope that this helps you guys. Please let me know if you discovered any fun things when going through this, if you knew about fascia or didn't, or if you have any other questions or requests in the future. I really appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for joining me and for always supporting me and sending me super loving messages. I really care about you guys a lot, and I'm so glad that you guys get benefit from this. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, yay, I'm so glad. Yay, I'm glad. Yolanda, love, Amy, what's up? Thank you, Yolanda. I'm so happy. Yay, Amy Phrase. Thank you. All right, Abdakar, what's up? Oh, you got it. Call me Tani. Yay. I'm so happy y'all had a good time. I really hope that helped your fascia and helped you get flexible in your bodies. Yeah, and Kit, thank you, bye. I can use all you taught today. Yay, I'm so happy to hear that. I'm also going to be posting this to my YouTube later, so you guys can always go back and refer to it. Plus, I have other videos on my YouTube channel, and we'll be covering this topic more. Yeah, I'm going to be getting cut off here pretty soon. Okay, thank you, Ankit. I appreciate it. You guys are so awesome. Now go spread love and light, my lovely light beings. Namaste.